So yeah, nature. My phone cut off. I accidentally started playing my music. Anyway, nature is a big teacher for me, but I use everything, y'all. When I say everything, I use everything. I use nature. I use social media posts, memes. I use TV shows. TV shows are a big one for me too. Movies, books, numbers, synchronicities. I use it all. I mean, everything. So yeah, Simple Healing 333, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically, learning every day, healing in 333. Because I'm trying to be in alignment with the divine. I need to be on the right frequency, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, y'all, I got to tell you something. I could not wait to do this video because I couldn't wait. I got excited. I've been getting excited all morning. I done got excited and stopped and took me a little skip to my little skip, right? And because I'm excited about the unfolding, okay? Camera's a little dirty. Right? I'm excited about the unfolding and the lessons that I'm receiving. And I'm not just receiving them mentally. I'm receiving them on every level. I'm receiving them spiritually. I'm receiving them emotionally. I'm receiving them mentally. I'm receiving them physically. I'm receiving them energetically. I think I need to change that E to energetically. Yeah, learning, healing. Anyway, y'all. So, I have some family here at the park where I come walk at. Family, friend, ancestor, possible ancestor. But back when I stayed in White Settlement some years ago, and I walked to that park, I had a family member there, friend, and I'm talking about a tree. Let me let her finish talking. So there was a tree named Bertha that I used to go sit up under and read and chit chat with a little bit. And so since I've been walking here, the thought had dawned on me that, I hadn't really talked to the trees much in a while. And as I'm walking, I was drawn to one tree in particular. And I said, "What's your name?" But the first name that came to mind is Eugene. I don't know any Eugenes, right? That was the first name that came to mind. So, thus, to me, that is Eugene. And so, now when I come to the park and I do my walks, I always take a moment. Sometimes it's just a moment. And then sometimes it's like 10 minutes because I be talking. And I give Eugene a hug, and we chit chat, and I always ask Eugene to, oh, that's a pretty butterfly, to let Bertha know that I miss her, and I did not forget about her. Send her my love, right? So a few days ago, I was out here, and I was talking to Eugene, and I had a question. And my question was, how do you sustain yourself when it hasn't rained in a long time? Like, how do you survive all this time? Because, there could be droughts, there could be storms, all of that. But I was more concerned about the ground being dry. At least from my perspective, the ground looks dry. So I asked you, Eugene, how do you sustain yourself? Where do the water come from, right? And so then I had the thought of, well, the earth is made of mostly water, and then we are made of mostly water. So it's only fair for me to assume that the trees are also made of mostly water, only not the part that we see that's above the ground, but below. So the roots hold in the moisture. The roots have the water, right? And then if one tree may be, their roots is not as moistened or holds as much water as the other ones. When you in a park like this and you got trees everywhere, they roots intertwine. So above, they might look separate a little bit. They got their own trunks and stuff, but below, in the depths, they all intertwine together. They one, and they help each other out, but they also, they help each other out, but they also know how to block a particular tree that is sick or might, is not being fruitful. They know how to block those off. They know how to support each other. They know how to make way for one another. Have you ever noticed how trees curve? Like they start out one way and then they curve some curve like this. Some start like this and then they curve at some point, and then some curve like this, and then some just kind of round it off like an arch. Look at this one. I don't know if you can see it. Let's see. You see how this tree right here, it curves and it goes over like so. Anyway, they make room for each other. I used to wonder why. I asked Eugene that too. Why do the trees curve the way they curve? But some of them are making room for the other trees to be able to grow and to sprout. So they don't keep each other from growing. They don't have that crabs in the bucket mentality, right? I noticed that the stronger trees may curve a little bit, or a part of them, like a branch could curve over a little bit, and it's supporting a less stronger branch. So it'll sit right up under that branch so that branch don't fall. And then some of them just curve to make room for the new trees or the less mature trees. And then some of them curve to cut off, because there's a few trees in here that they don't have any life on them. They barren, and it looks like those trees cut those off to keep them from growing. I don't know, maybe something happened. Maybe they went through some type of pandemic and those trees didn't survive, so they just got cut off. Like this one. Look at this one. You see that? This tree curves over like that and block this tree off. And it's mostly these kind of trees that have been blocked off that don't have any life. So they was prevented from growing anymore. So back to what I was saying. Eugene is not just Eugene anymore. I just decided I would go look up what the name mean itself, because I'm like, where did that name even come from? Eugene, right? So I went to look up the meaning of the name. It means well-born or noble, and or noble. Well-born and or noble. So now let's get to today. I asked Eugene, grandfather Eugene those questions a few days ago. And I think it was like 2 days ago. And so that was what I got that day. Now today as I'm walking, and I had a thought while I was giving gratitude for what I was enlightened about in the call today, and just throughout this week it's been unfolding in a beautiful way. And so the thought came to me of oil, having oil stored up. And it was there, the thought was there, but I didn't pay much attention to it at that very moment because I was in the process of giving gratitude for everything that I've been experiencing this week. And so finally, after walking like a mile and doing my video for today that I plan to do today, I stopped to talk to grandfather Eugene and give him a hug and tell him what I got going on, right? And then it dawned on me, because I was about to say, I'm still kind of waiting on an answer in regards to my questions, right? And then I remembered that thought, and it was a parable that's in the Bible, and there's the parable of the 10 virgins, which I've probably talked about a few times, but it just reiterates, or it unfolds to me in different ways. It just depends on where I'm at in my life and my mindset and in my consciousness, my conscious awareness, where I am with that, right? And so, man, hold on. In this parable, there's 10 virgins, okay? 10. You have the 5 foolish virgins, and you have the 5 wise virgins. Now, the virgins are waiting for the bridegroom, okay? They're waiting for the bridegroom. So they went to the wedding party, right? And they're waiting for the bridegroom. They're waiting for the doors to be open to this wedding party. Now let's put that in something that we can use on the day-to-day. So let's just say that the wedding party is a business that you want to start, okay? We'll say that. The wedding party is a business that you want to start, right? And so you're waiting for the opportunity. Let's say the door is the opportunity, okay? So you're going to start a business. You're going to a wedding party. And you're waiting for this opportunity to start this business. So you're waiting for a door to open, okay? And so you don't know when it's going to be. You don't know, right? So you just got to be ready. You know how they say, stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Okay, so we have the 5 foolish virgins and we have the 5 wise virgins. Now, the 5 foolish virgins, they came with their lanterns, okay? They got their lanterns. They got what they got, and that's it. They think that's all that they need. They didn't take into consideration that there could be some delays, okay? They didn't take into consideration that there could be some delays, so they didn't properly prepare because they didn't think about that. They just figured, we'll go to the wedding party. We don't need to take no extra food. We don't need to take no extra water. We don't need to learn any extra skills. Skills, and we're talking about opening a business. So learning how to run a business, being financially responsible, and knowing how to manage money, knowing how to manage time, things like that, right? So they didn't take in consideration of any of that. Now, mind you, this is going to be the oil. This is what I just said prior to that. This is going to be the oil, bringing extra food, storing up, water, learning new skill sets that'll help when the door opens for this business. Learning different softwares, QuickBooks, trying to deciding which way you want to go when it comes to payroll, things like that. Like they didn't do any of that. They didn't bring any extra oil. They didn't change their mindset, do affirmations or increase their vibrations, making sure they on the right frequency and they in alignment. They didn't do any of that. They just brought their lantern, right? They just brought their lantern. And I'm going to say the lantern is them. It's their conscious mind, but not. Right? Now, the wise virgins, they came ready. Like ready. They was ready for anything. They came with a lantern. They came with a extra oil. They already know what they going to do when this happened. When this happened, they know what kind of software they going to use. They know they have perfected and continue to perfect their skill set, their craft. They doing everything. They gonna make sure when that door open, they can walk through. They gonna make sure that they are in alignment with what it is that they are finna do. So when the door open, the opportunity presents itself to start this business or open this business, they ready. So if there's any delays or if they have moments where something comes and they get bombarded with thoughts of it's not gonna happen and doubt try and set in, they already got what they need. They got this reservoir. They got extra oil just sitting there waiting, for times of drought, for times of delay, for times of doubt. They have oil, baby. They have oil stored up, and they at the door, standing outside the door of the wedding party or this door of opportunity, and they waiting for it to open. So it don't matter what happened. They got everything they need. They got their food, they got their water, they got their affirmations, whatever it is that keeps their vibrations high. They don't want for anything. They don't need for anything, because they brought everything that they know they're gonna need to sustain them through this journey. While they waiting, they at the door waiting for the bridegroom. The bridegroom is the actual business. The door for it to open into the wedding party of the business is the door of opportunity. You get me? Now, they waiting. The 5 wise virgins and the 5 foolish virgins, they waiting. And then, at some point, the foolish virgins, they lantern start going out. It's getting dark. The light is getting dimmer and dimmer. And you know what they say? They're going to ask the 5 wise virgins, can we get some of your oil, please? Oh, wow. Oh, you didn't do the work. You didn't prepare. You didn't do the work. No, I can't give you what I got, because I got to keep what I had prepped for me, because I don't know how long it's going to be. Oh, wow. That means that when you doing the work and you storing up and you waiting, you making sure you stay in alignment and you waiting for this door to open, and somebody that haven't done the work come to you and ask you, say, can I borrow? Can you do this for? Can you help me with? I give it back to you such and such day. No, I need this for myself, because I don't know how long, right? I'm waiting for this door opportunity to come, and I can't risk giving this away right now because I'm holding on this to this to sustain me. That could be money, that could be energy, that could be time, something that you can't really get back, even though time is subjective. You can't get it back. So when those 5 foolish virgins came to ask the wise virgins for some oil, they said, no, I need this for myself. I don't know when those doors are open, but I got to be able to sustain me until those doors open. Now, when those doors open and you go through and you're in the wedding party, you know, and you in a position, if you still want to, but why would you want to sow a seed into soil that's not conducive for growth, right? The wise virgin said, no, we need this for ourselves. Go into a town, go within, into town, to the market, and get your own oil. What? Go get your own oil. Do the work. Do the work. No, I'm doing my work. You got to do your work. I can't do my work and then just give to you freely. Because then what are you learning? What am I gaining from giving it to you? No, man. You got to go to the market. Do the work. Get your own oil. Go within. You got to pay the price. Just like I paid the price. I'm not finna pay the price, do all the sacrificing, do all the work and the crying and the slobbering and balled over because my soul is going through this dark night of the soul. I'm not finna do all the work and then just hand you something and you didn't do no work. I'm not just finna give it to you. I'm waiting. I gotta make sure I have everything I need, that I'm in alignment when this door opens. Because I'm going to this wedding party. I'm going to open this business. I'm going to lose this weight. I'm going whatever it is. I'm going to stand at the door of opportunity and wait for it to open. And I can't risk giving you even a little bit right now because I'm on a mission. Man, I have never, ever, ever had that type of enlightenment. That just got me all excited inside because it's kind of flowing with what I've been experiencing this week when we do our graduations. And I've been working on Chiron and Taurus, and man, I heard if you have not watched Truly Divinely Sent, her name is Senna, but the channel is Truly Divinely Sent, and I love her. Her energy is dope. And she was talking about how, you know, family. That's what she said. She's like, fuck family if they ain't doing the work and they, you know, still learning karmic lessons, and, you know, they not putting their best foot forward. She not leaving them nothing, and I totally agree. If you doing the work and you laboring and you putting your sweat and tears into something, and you went through all this healing and you building a legacy, you don't want to leave it to somebody that haven't done the work. Just like a person is not gonna get hired, or the door of opportunity that's really a good opportunity it'll open, but you won't be able to go through because you don't got what you need. You wasn't in alignment. But y'all go check her channel out because sis is dope. I mean, and she got some dope gear too. Y'all just go check out her channel, Truly Divinely Sent. And yeah, so when she said that, and then me just getting that revelation, when you do the work, you can't just give. You can't just give freely. I don't care how long you've been knowing the person, you know, how good of friends y'all are, or if y'all family, you can't do the work and be trying to be in alignment and keep your vibrations high, waiting for this door to open, because you don't know when it's going to open. So you can't just be freely giving. You can't just be, you can't. Man, I never, man, that is a whole different, that make me want to go back and look in the Bible a little more and see what I can find out. Hey, friend, see what I can find out, because that was something right there. And so I was telling Eugene, Grandfather Eugene, after I had my little moment of excitement, which it's been a long moment, as you can see, because I'm still excited. But I said, oh, you got the oil. Grandfather Eugene, y'all got the oil. They got the oil. They got what they need in their roots to sustain them in times of drought when it haven't rained in a long time, you know, and they got strength. They rooted and grounded, so if a storm comes, you know, strong winds and all that, they ain't going nowhere. And they be fine if it don't rain for a little while. You know, whatever, they got everything they need in their roots, their foundation. Oh my goodness. Foundation is important. You got to be rooted in what it is that you want to do. So if you decide you're going to start a business, you got to do everything that you could think of, everything to be able to run that business. You got to perfect your craft, right? You got to ask for God to send in the right people to help you to learn the things that you don't know, and you got to be open to receive. You got to be open to constructive criticism. Like, you got to be open. You got to be whatever it is you need to be, whatever it is you got to do that keep your vibrations high, keep you in alignment, your mindset got to be right. You can't be like, oh, this taking forever. When they going to open these doors? When they going to open these doors? I'm tired of waiting. You can't do that. Oh, no, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. You got to stand. You got to just keep preparing. I bet you those wise virgins, them 5 wise virgins, I bet you they had books while they were sitting there. You know, whatever their craft is, they working on their craft while they sitting there. Whatever they need to sustain them nutritional wise, they got that stored up. They probably rationing it off. They probably fasting, intermittent fasting. I'm going to eat this time of the day, and that's it. Or I'm going to have a little bit here and a little bit there and save the rest. I'm going to ration it out so I can have just enough. They was doing everything. And the foolish virgin was probably just sitting there, you know, not replenishing themselves, not affirming themselves, not working on their craft, not doing any of that. And they started to get low. They started to get low on oil. You know, their foundation not as solid as it could be. They not really rooted yet. So when things happen and the doors not opening, there's delays, they getting tired of waiting. They starting to complain, which affects the vibration. It's not putting them in the frequency and in alignment to walk through that door when that door open. They ain't got on the right garments to be invited into the wedding party. They was invited, but if you don't got on the right garments, you can't come in. If you're not in the right vibration, you can't come in. Oh, the door of opportunity, the door to the wedding party could be a portal. And you got to be on the frequency, a certain frequency, to get into the portal, to go through the portal. You got to be on a certain frequency. You got to be in the right vibration, have the right mindset in order to go through this portal. And the thing is, at the end of it all, and I was talking to Grandfather Eugene, and I'm saying, you got the oil. You got the oil in your roots. You know, It's in your roots. It's instilled in your roots. It's embedded in your roots. Right? Everything that we need is already in us. The Bible said that too. That the divine placed within us everything that we need to live this life. And I know we don't always remember a lot of it. That's why we go through awakenings. When we don't just have one awakening, we have multiple awakenings. But we have what we need on the inside. It's just a matter of us doing the work to access it. I feel like when we do the work and we access or remember things about ourselves, remember who we are, remember the power that you have been granted access in a way back into the Garden of Eden, or just get a peek, or you have been given access to enter into heaven, because heaven is at hand. Heaven is in you. So when you go in and do the work, and you prepare, and I'm not just talking about opening a business, I'm talking about just on the spiritual journey in general. You make your way through and you eventually find your door to heaven, and you in alignment, you're on the right vibration and frequency to go through that door. I'm telling you, that is power. So you got what you need. We got what we need in us already. It's just some of us choose to do the work, and some of us, we don't. We choose not to do the work. And doing the work can be difficult. It can be challenging. At times it could get frustrating. But the reward is priceless. Is so great. Wow. Thank you. Yeah, I gotta go. I was supposed to walk back home and got ready for my phone call. I gotta get to the house. But if you like this video, if it was helpful, just go ahead and hit the like button. They got this new hype thing. Hype it up. Oh, I gotta get home. Hype it up. Share it, y'all. That just wow. Just wow. Thank you for listening. Leave me a comment if you would like to leave a comment. It's a beautiful Friday. I will see you guys next time. I hope this message fills you up, opens you up a little bit more, waters the seed that's already been planted in you, enlightens you about something that you may be experiencing in your own life at this time. This is Riley with S.E.M.P.L.E Healing 333 signing off. Peace.